Hello, and welcome to the Will to Win podcast. This is Alex Muir, helping millennial professionals reach peak mental and physical performance. And in today's episode, episode 6, we're going to be talking about the importance of sleep. Now, haven't been posting for a couple weeks now. Last episode was on nutrition. It would have been February 3rd was my last episode. So wanted to dive back into the last few episodes of this series. We've just got one more episode in this series, and I'm going to be starting a new series on financial education for millennial professionals, which I've also started my new YouTube series and blog posts on that subject. So gonna start off by saying sleep is probably, I'd say, the most important aspect of your mental and physical performance journey. Getting enough sleep is vital for being able to perform at a high level. I know for myself, if I get less than 7 hours of sleep, I feel I can't perform even at a sufficient level, and be able to adapt to what's being thrown at me in life and be able to carry conversation properly. I just feel my brain is muddled, and it shouldn't be that way. And if the easiest way to counteract that is by getting enough sleep, that's what we got to do. So get in as much as you can, your 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If you can get more, even better. But another thing about sleep that's not talked about enough, I think, is your nightly ritual the night before. So if you want to get up at a certain time, for myself, I've always failed at getting up early enough because sometimes my nightly routine is off. I go to bed too late, over a few days, and I'm trying to get myself out of bed earlier. You got to go to bed earlier. So for instance, if you want to get up at like 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning, I would have to go to bed at 10 or 10:30 to wake up for 7, and sometimes either 10 o'clock or even 9:45 to get up at 6. Because for myself, I know I need a lot of sleep, especially if you're training. You're gonna find you're gonna need more sleep, because the training, nutrition, and sleep all go hand in hand. And then the supplementation, in addition to that, taking your fish oil, taking your magnesium, vitamin D, vitamin C, those are all helpful as well. Taking your supplements at night, because that will help you have a nice deeper sleep. For instance, taking magnesium or CBD oil before bed. So those are some tips to kind of getting yourself in the right position to go to sleep. Everyone has their own routine, but one thing I actually learned off of my girlfriend was to set aside your wardrobe for the following day. So, but doing that by the night before. So what I mean by that is figure out what work attire you need, whatever industry you're in, and set out your clothes the night before. Kind of drape them over your chair or on the side of your bed for the morning. So then the second you get up, you're already prepared, and you've already crossed one thing off your list of what you got to do. Especially if you want to get up early, you don't want to be doing all these different things that morning, because it'll throw off your morning, especially if you got to go to work the same morning. So you want to set yourself up for success the night before, and definitely setting aside your clothes if you're going to go to the gym or just for work, depending on the kind of work you want to get done in the morning. I've experimented with training in the morning. I definitely find it very difficult. I haven't been able to stay with it very consistently, so I always alternate between training in the morning and training at night. But almost every time I've trained more consistently at night, just because I feel I need a lot of meals in me personally, getting in at least 3 to 4 meals before my workout, because I just feel flat if I train fasted on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. But occasionally I have had some good success in training in the morning. But the biggest thing that I've learned is just getting to bed on time consistently, daily. And the more you find that you're going to bed on time and it'll help you get up on time in the morning if you've got goals you want to accomplish. So for example, my goal is to work on my creative work in the morning. I want to start doing that because at night I just haven't been getting to it because I just keep making up excuses that, oh, I've got this to do, or I'll get to it later. And the more the night goes on, the more that you find yourself not achieving what you want to achieve, and that bothers me. So that's why I'm going to shake up my routine and try and get out of bed earlier and at least get half an hour to an hour of creative work done. And by creative work, I mean working on this podcast, coming up with more episode ideas or series that I want to try, drafting out blog posts, and also ideas for YouTube videos. So, because I really want to stay consistent with the content and putting on the content for you guys, because I am very passionate about it. And again, no excuses. Just got to find a way to get back that time and setting aside the time to do these kind of activities. Because if it's important to you, you'll find a way to do it. And one thing that I was listening to was a audiobook by Mel Robbins, the author, and it's called The 5-Second Rule. And basically the premise of the 5-second rule is giving yourself your own mental countdown in your head from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 inside your head, and kind of psyching yourself up to take action towards something. And you're giving yourself your own mental countdown to move after you've said that mental countdown, to create movement. And then once you've created movement, then that movement can translate into changing your thinking or your thought patterns. So the idea is giving yourself a mental countdown kind of shakes up your shakes up your physiology, so it forces you to shake up your psychology. So doing the mental countdown, in your head, let's say, for example, you want to go to the gym in the morning. Well, you go, I'm going to start experimenting with it to see how it works. Starting tonight, I'm going to go to bed a little bit earlier, probably 10 or 10:30. I'm going to try and wake up for 6. And then before my alarm goes off, or as my alarm's about to go off, I'm going to do a mental countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then in my head, I'm going to say, get up. I'm going to see how it works. And I know it's kind of cheesy and corny, but you got to develop mental frameworks sometimes to help push yourself to the next level. And it's important to push ourselves, because the most of the time, the challenge is trying to do things when you don't want to do them. And you got to develop a psychological set of tools or framework to help you get into action. So again, that's a side note from the sleep, but a few more tools or tricks to help you get a great night's sleep. Drink about 1.5 to 2 hours before bed, drink chamomile tea. And then in addition to the chamomile tea, that kind of helps your body relax and wind down. Another option you can do is do some yoga or light stretching for at least 3 to 5 minutes. Doing the yoga or light stretching is really handy too, because doing that stretching is just really going to help you loosen up. Because at the end of the day, depending on if you've done a lot of driving or you've been sedentary, haven't got any exercise in, at least that's something to help your body relax, get rid of the tightness in your muscles, and loosen up before bed. Because the last thing that you want is to be going to bed and you feel like stiff as a board. You want to make sure you're loose, limber, and ready to hit the hay. So those are a few tools. Another one is CBD oil supplementation. Now I've recently been experimenting with taking CBD oil. I was taking it, I wanted to test it out, and I took it for every day, 2 meals a day for about a month or more. And I definitely noticed a difference in my mindset and being able to relax easier, because that's what it does. You just take it orally, you take it like in a dropper, either within the CBD oil container or like your own dropper, and you just put it under your tongue and you just let it dissolve within 30 seconds. And then basically you can get flavored ones. I take the peppermint flavored one from a place locally here where I'm from, and it's just very helpful. It's another way to wind down, especially if you're someone that has a busy mind at night. You got to find ways to wind down or to find ways to relax. And sometimes exercise and meditation for me is not enough. Sometimes I do need something else. And as long as it's healthy, which it is, CBD oil is natural, it's derived from the hemp plant. So as long as it's healthy, it's not something that's gonna, do more harm than good, then I definitely recommend, trying it, especially if it's gonna be helpful for you. So there's a few tips: chamomile tea, light stretching or yoga, CBD oil supplementation, and then what would be a few more? Hydration. Another thing that I was taught by one of my friends was to make sure to have a glass of water, and my girlfriend does this as well. Have a glass of water beside your bed, so then the second that you are about to wake up, it'll just help ease the process of getting out of bed. Because especially during the winter months, which we're in mid-February right now, it's going to be much more challenging to get up, and you're not going to want to get up as easily when it's freezing cold outside and you're warm under the covers. You got to find ways to get out of this state, and an easier way to do that is by having a glass of water next to your bed in the morning, and then figure out your own mental ritual or mental starting ritual to help get you out of bed. So hope you guys all enjoy this podcast. Again, this is Alex Muir, the Will to Win podcast, helping millennial professionals reach peak mental and physical performance. And again, this is episode 6 on sleep. So hope you guys all enjoy this podcast, and stay tuned for next week's episode on CBD oil supplementation. All right, take care.